One of the things I absolutely love to do on this channel is talk about new Warhammer 40,000 lore. For those of you who regularly watch my videos, you've probably seen when I cover this lore, the little blurb of text that are in the new codexes, all the way from 8th to where we are now in 10th edition. But one of the burning things I always see in the comic section, more regularly really, is has the Grim Dark gone from Warhammer 40,000? And in today's video, I want to explore that from both sides. Is it still there? Has it disappeared? Or are we now in a new age of hope for Warhammer 40,000? So let's jump in and let's get waffling. I think the first thing I should do in this video is ask you right now to post in the comment section, what do you see as the Grim Dark of Warhammer 40,000? Because a lot of people see it differently. Some people see the no hope in the setting as the Grim Darkness. Some people see the violence of Warhammer 40,000 as part of the Grim Darkness. Some see the Imperium stuck in its ways, never going back to the greatness that was just a grasp away as the Grim Darkness of Warhammer 40,000. We all have our own different views. My personal view is the violent side to Warhammer 40,000, how brutal the warfare is. You as a guardsman deployed on a planet, coming across a Necron that will flay you in a matter of seconds, being kidnapped by Dark Eldar and tortured beyond your wildest fears until you eventually just die on a cold, dark cell floor, coming across the Tyranids that will literally consume you. Your biomass then becomes even more Tyranids. Demons being birthed from your inner soul, corrupting you and taking you out. That for me is where I see the Grim Darkness of Warhammer 40,000. Now, one of the debates I see in the comment sections of the lore videos that I've been doing is that it's no longer Grim Dark. We are now in a new age of Warhammer 40,000. And in some ways, I do agree. I see where that individual is coming from. I'm not here to say, no, you're completely wrong. How dare you even say that the Grim Dark has never left? Because I always like to see the different side of the argument. I get that with the Primarchs coming back, especially Guilliman coming back and leading the Imperium, that has definitely changed the setting for maybe in a good way for hope. Hope again has kind of been rekindled in the Imperium. You do have this figure, Guilliman, a son of the Emperor himself, who's come back, looked upon the Imperium and said, what the hell is going on? He's removed, or trying to remove, the rot in the inner core of the Imperium, replacing the High Lords, launching the Indomitus Crusade. The Imperium has launched the biggest fleets it's ever done, bigger than the Great Crusade, to take back what is truly ours, the stars themselves. I understand why people are quite upset with that, because that hope of despair has kind of faded away. Because when you look at a being like a Primarch, the only thing you can do is hope for the best, is hope that humanity is once again on the right track. And a lot of people don't like that. They like that kind of despair of there is no hope. We're in here fighting. One day it will all come crumbling down and there's nothing here to save us. We just have to keep fighting until we take our last breath. Now, with the introduction of the Great Rift, and we'll get onto that in the latter part of the video, something also massively happened, and that was the introduction of the Primaris Marine. Space Marines were always these mythological figures, literally things that descended from the heavens to bring rapture or to bring savior to a planet, right? It was these fantastic beings that were rarely seen. They were rarely sighted in the Imperium. And with the introduction of the Primaris Marine, Belisarius Cawl literally had tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, I would say, all then sprung on the Imperium. Now we have like an overburden of Space Marines. Of course, we don't have as much Space Marines as Imperial Guard, but there's way more Space Marines than we've ever had before. And chapters who were once thought lost, dead, sacrificed, went down in a blaze of glory, they have been reborn with Primaris chapters. Chapters who were suffering massive casualties have all been reinforced now back to full strength by the Primaris Marine. Again, this goes to that debate, is that grimdark now, saying that these chapters who were about to die, like the Lamenters, the Crimson Fists, who suffered massively at the Orcs, they've all been fully refreshed by the Primaris Marines, back to full strength. Is that grimdark now that this Space Marine unit is back to this strength and able to fight against the enemies of humanity? Now, I know we've just talked about Guilliman and the idea of hope coming back, but I think we do have to go into more of a talk about the Primarchs returning to the setting, because this is a big part of the debate of the grim darkness. Yes, we've had Guilliman come back. We've just seen the return of Lionel Johnson. And I do think we will see more Loyalist Primarchs return to the setting. I think this is a huge business decision rather than lore narrative decision from Games Workshop, because let's face it, Primarchs make money, and since GW has to answer to the shareholders, it's all about that at the end of the day. It's about the money. That is the foundation that GW bases everything off. But we've also had Traitor Primarchs come back, and I think we'll have even more Traitor Primarchs come back. We've had Magnus, Mortarion, Angron, Fulgrim will be coming back sometime in this edition, and it won't stop there. I definitely think we will get Lorgar. I think we will get Perturabo returning to the tabletop in the far future of this setting. I personally think, and again, this is just my opinion, which everyone's entitled to, I think that brings a certain element of grimdark back, because the Primarchs then can bring all their followers, they can bring their genius, their battle strategies, the powers of the gods who back them to the battlefields to cause more carnage, more despair, and more misery to the setting. And the setting is really where I want to try and end this video and talk about. What we've had since 8th edition is a big leap in the narrative. Before, it was just stagnation. We were always at war, eternal war, smacking each other on the face, no movement at all. With 8th edition, that all changed. A literal rift across the galaxy now splits it in half. Cadia has fallen. Billions, trillions, I would say, of Imperial cities were lost. Chapters were lost in the Great Rift. Chaos is literally seeping into the galaxy itself. But it's not all about chaos, I see. The Orcs have took advantage of this. Gaz Skull is making a war bigger than we've ever seen before, because the Imperium can't reinforce planets north of the Great Rift. Other Xenos factions, like the Dark Eldar, are taking advantage of this and literally enslaving planet after planet to their cause. The Eldar are trying to help the Imperium a little bit. The Necrons are waking up. The Silent King has returned to the setting. What we've just got now in 10th edition is the literal next big invasion by the Tyranid force. And I've always said the Tyranids are the biggest threat to the galaxy. Chaos may be the biggest threat to the Imperium, but to the galaxy itself, everyone in this galaxy, it's the Tyranids. We've only seen the fingers that are coming. We haven't even seen the body of the Tyranid that's about to hit this galaxy yet. And with the 4th Tyrannic War hitting in the Segmentum Pacificus, I think we should be seeing a lot more devastation and destruction, not for the Imperium alone, but for all of the other races inside of this galaxy. I think the problem that Games Workshop do have is trying to put this over into the narrative, to try and put this over into stories, because I agree with 8th edition and 9th edition and stuff like that. Like, let's take 9th edition, for example. When we had the Necrons slowly awaken, the Silent King come back, it actually became the Silent King, because nothing happened. That story just dribbled out, and a lot of people, including myself, were frustrated at that. And I really, really hope this doesn't happen now with the Tyranids in 10th edition. We need some type of narrative that puts fear into people, that puts, let's say, the grim dark back into people who are fearing the grim dark has left the setting. And that is really down to GW and their narrative department to really finish the stories that they're starting. I think it comes down to what you see Warhammer 40,000. I keep saying this on my streams. It's all about your opinion. As long as you have a healthy opinion and don't try and force your opinion on other people, you can say it's grimdark, you can say it's not grimdark. The last thing we want is people throwing, I don't know, Nurgle dung at each other, because at the end of the day, the only thing that we do is get covered in Nurgle dung, right? Let's just have a nice, friendly approach to this. For example, I love Primarchs. I love all the Primarchs coming back to the setting, the Loyalists, the Traitors, everything like that. There's lots of people that disagree with that, and that's okay. It's all right to have a different opinion online. Just don't try and force that opinion on everyone else. I'm here saying I love the Primarchs. I love it. Doesn't mean that you have to love it. Anyway, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I would love to get your thoughts and feedback on this down in the description. Let's have a nice, healthy discussion. Again, let's all be friends, because at the end of the day, we're here to have fun. That's what Warhammer is, right? It's a game to collect, roll dice, and have fun with your friends. If you're not having fun, go and find something that makes you have fun. Life's too short not to have fun. See ya, have a great day, and bye-bye.